Owen, did you hear the big news?
Depends on what the big news is.
Your favorite artist is going to play in Aggieville on March 2nd.
I did hear that, actually. I heard Dave break, or who did break that? I think I was here when.
Well, yesterday it was me.
But Mitch
I was on
technically
the road.
broke it. I heard about it about a week ago.
Yeah.
And I kind of buried it because I could have told all you guys. I didn't say a word.
I'll give you credit for it. So.
Thank you, man.
I heard about it yesterday.
I heard about 6 months ago. Oh, okay, yeah. I thought you were going to one-up me.
Well, I think it's cool. Like you had more of an inside knowledge than I did.
Dude,
I didn't find out till yesterday.
And you know what stinks is now I can't take any credit for anything. But I should have been like, hey, guess what? You know, I should have made a burner account, Darude's brother, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and put it out there on Twitter like, hey, he's coming.
Yeah.
Where's he going to be at, Nagy, again?
Yard Bar.
Is it Yard Bar? Yeah, I've heard people are already lined up outside waiting for it. So they're like, yeah, 3 months, -9. Who cares?
Wristbands, you know.
They're like,
you
hey,
can get them now.
You don't have to do this. Here's the wristband. They're like, no, man, I'm going to be here. I'm getting my seat.
FakePattiesDay.com for more. Darude, the composer of Sandstorm, performing at Yard Bar in Aggieville on Fake Patties Day at noon.
So can we officially agree and declare that Sandstorm is a K-State song? He's coming to Manhattan. Has he performed at any other college?
I couldn't tell you that. I have no idea.
You got to ask
tour
him.
schedule. Yeah, that's exactly.
Can you get him on the show?
I mean,
Sure.
Can we talk to
Yeah, why
Darude
not?
and be like, hey, have you done any other colleges? And he'll go, no, it's the first one. I'll go, okay, thanks for coming down, Darude.
That's the only question you ask.
Well, South Carolina football uses Sandstorm. It's like their big song.
I mean,
hey.
if he is sitting in that chair next to Dave and he said, yeah, it's a K-State thing, I mean, who's going to disagree with him?
You know, and there's been so many years that K-State plays a home game on Fake Patties Day, and like the student section is a checkerboard of purple and green.
Mm-hmm.
Cats are on the road. Fake Patties Day this year. It's March 2nd. That's a Saturday, obviously. 6 o'clock tip at Cincinnati.
Sick. Dude.
Darude would never go to Cincinnati.
No, he wouldn't.
Not a
And he's not
chance.
going to South Carolina either. Come on.
Nope. Why would you?
He's coming here, and we're going to get him on the game.
By the way, speaking of hoops, did you see that the Big 12 has released the format for the men's and women's tournaments in Kansas City?
I did not.
So, moving forward, both the men and women will play in T-Mobile Center. The women will have it the first week. Second week will go to the men. And that's why, moving forward, when the Big 12 extends when they get to 16, and then they extend the conference schedule to 20 games for the men, the women will stay at 18, and that's because their conference tournament will be a week earlier. Mm-hmm. But it's the same format for both the men and women. There are now double byes. And I've always said it's not a real conference tournament unless you have a double bye in there somewhere. That's where you get a real Cinderella story if somebody happens to make a run. So to get a double bye, you have to be a top four seed. And this, of course, will be the only time we'll have a 14-team tournament. So it'll look a little bit different, I'm sure, next year. But if you play the absolute first day, it's like the original format with the 10 teams. I say original with the 10 teams. Is if you're a bottom 4 team, you have to play day one. You will get a 1-round bye, as in you'll play in the second round if you are seeded 5 through 10. Mm-hmm. And then 1 through 4 gets the double bye. And 1 through 4, to get to the championship, you only need to win 3 games.
See, I really want somebody from the Big 12, the bottom 4 team, to make that run and end up winning. Like, we have all these Cinderella schools for like small conferences. Why can't it just one time happen for the Big 12? Like, get like 8 for a lock, 8 teams in, lockdown, lead pipe lock, and then have one get in because of the conference championship thing and have it be like one of the worst. That's what I want, dude. I want that so bad. But
Well,
it
that
never
was
happens.
I think that was Fairleigh Dickinson
yeah.
last year. Like, they were bad or something but they won their conference tournament.
Yeah.
And then they upset Purdue.
Dude, it happens every year. There's somebody comes in and you look at their record and you're like, 10-24. The heck are they doing? Oh, they won their conference tournament. That's awesome. I want somebody, Oklahoma State maybe.
Talk about getting hot at the right time.
Absolutely.
There you go.
3-3-3-3-3. They're playing Darude in their head and they end up in the tourney. That's what I'm talking about, dude.
That's all you need.
Well, here in Manhattan, we have a doubleheader of K-State hoops tomorrow. The K-State women, keep this in mind, without Ayoke Lee for roughly 4 weeks, they will still host the Kansas Jayhawks. There's no forfeiting. There's plenty of folks.
Yeah, I meant
that
to
can play
ask
hoops.
about that because my fiance's mom brought it up, and I was like, "How do they get all the way to Fort Worth and then you just don't play the game?"
Good question, my friend.
Rolled
Yeah.
ankles.
Might need to call TCU up and get them on the show.
Hey, man, what's your guys' miles looking like?
Yeah, you want to reimburse that flight for
man,
us?
you
Or?
need to roll over them miles to K-State because that's messed up.
I'm telling you, it's rolled ankles. They're a real problem.
For Troy kind of put it out there. He said that, of course, you talked about they had the 2 key players with injury for the season.
Yeah, there's 2 starters. Well, one for sure is out for the year. Another one, Sedona Prince, has got that broken / dislocated finger.
Yeah.
Has been sitting out a while. So I don't know.
So they were down to 10, right? They were already down 10 with those 2, and then 6 people got hurt. In between there, when don't you go, hey, we're going to do some shoot-around stuff, but we're not practicing, guys. Like, we got 10 people here.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's crazy, man.
I mean, there have been teams for K-State in the past where they're banged up and they don't have enough players to have like a scrimmage and practice. Play a little 3-on-3, but there's no 5-on-5. It's happened before.
You ever seen the Junction Boys with the Bear Bryant?
Oh, for sure.
He's
Yeah,
like,
the
I
ES
don't care if they're dead. Get him out there.
Yeah,
They
the
got
ESPN
Bear
movie.
Bryant coaching at TCU, man. Calm down.
All right. The men will host Oklahoma State Saturday at 6 o'clock. We'll have the game here on K-Man after the Manhattan boys wrap up in the champion of the Tournament of Champions in Dodge City. As you know, we can't play the game until MitchPom makes its official prediction.
Oh, God.
That prediction takes place right now.
This poor man is crying. Why? He missed the game. You know, you can
Turn me
always check
on.
out the game podcast
Owen
on
blew
Apple
it.
Podcasts, Google Play, and at
Wasn't listening.
newsradio.man.com.
Don't let anything else play.
We're here. Sorry, Colby
It's
just
5:15.
Colby just texted me. I was somewhat distracted trying to make sure he could hear us. I apologize. That's my bad. You want to play now?
Now we go MitchPom.
Okay, first, just cut all that. Let's restart the segment.
Yeah, I can't blame you there. That's a goof on my part.
MitchPom, here we go.
Here's MitchPom with
Tomorrow's
tonight's prediction.
Well, the Cats 13-4, 3-1 in Big 12 tied for first place. Meanwhile, Oklahoma State is one. They're the only team in the Big 12 without a win right now. 0-4 with an 8-9 record. They've lost 4 in a row, and also, 4 of their losses in non-con were by 5 points or less. They took Baylor to overtime, lost by 5. They held Baylor to just 2 makes from 3-point range. I swear they broke Baylor's 3-point shooting. Baylor has been terrible. They're 15% worse
Wow.
in Big 12 play than what they were in the non-con.
Damn.
Crazy.
That is crazy.
All right. Series history. K-State holds the advantage in the series all time, 85-58. And Cats have won 2 straight. Those are 2 wins last year. 2 good games, but K-State comes out on top. As a matter of fact, the game in Manhattan last year, that was the first real big keys-to-key alley-oop.
Oh, yeah.
It was the one-hander.
Yeah.
And it was a pass that I thought was too high.
Uh-huh.
And Key didn't get up enough to grab it. Just leaned back in the lazy chair, one hands it. Game over.
One-
See you later, Pokes.
1 hour of my life, I'd like to be that athletic. Just 1 hour. I'd go dunk for a straight 60 minutes. Oh.
Have you ever dunked? Ever?
Next question. On an 8-foot goal.
I grabbed the net once. I used to have some ups.
Yeah.
All right, looking at Oklahoma State. Now, I referenced, or I brought it up. I talked about Baylor and their drop numbers from three-point range. You know, I think Oklahoma State, they were shooting the ball well in non-con. They were good from three-point range. They were 37, 38%. They have just too many numbers right now that are really falling off in conference play. They're just not what they were during the non-con. And the big one is three-point shooting. They were 38% during non-con from three-point range. And right now, Oklahoma State is 29% from three-point range in 4 games during Big 12 play. I mean, field goal numbers are dropping. Total points are 10 points less in conference play.
God.
And Robert Allen, he hit it on the head. As a matter of fact, took one of my bullet points here, and that is the way they've been playing defense. I watched the Baylor game, and they were selling out on the three-point line because Baylor was a hot three-point shooting team, but then Baylor killed them inside. They just don't have the full body of work as a good defensive team. What K-State has really turned itself into over the last 13 games is a top-to-bottom strong defensive team. They're going to protect the three-point line, and they're going to compete as rim protectors. Block shots. Jarrell Colbert is a fantastic shot blocker. Will McNair has turned himself into a really good shot blocker. And by the way, David Gasson can block some shots. K-State was not a shot blocking team last year. They are this year. Oklahoma State, another thing that just really hurts them is the turnover margin. Worse in the Big 12, in Big 12 play at -6. They're turning it over 13.8 times per game, which is better than K-State because K-State has been the worst team in Big 12 play at turning over the basketball 15 times a contest. That's got to get shored up. They got to find better ways. I say better ways. They just need to take care of the basketball.
Yeah.
Be better at taking care of the basketball. But Oklahoma State, they're not forcing turnovers. Just 7.8 per game, and a handful of those are unforced errors. You know, so it'll be interesting to see that clash. K-State, who's been the worst team offensively at turning it over in Big 12 play, against the team that doesn't turn teams over in Big 12 play. Hopefully, K-State won't feel the pressure and they're able to take care of the basketball. A couple of players for Oklahoma State that stand out to me. One is quite obvious, and that's Bryce Thompson. He has been a Poke for the last 3 years. He's a former KU player. 13 points a game. He's a good three-point shooter at 37%. I do worry a little bit about, does Oklahoma State wake up? Does K-State once again fall victim to a team that all of a sudden wakes up and becomes competitive? If they do, I don't see them doing it for a 40-minute stretch. It's, maybe for a half, tops, like West Virginia was, tops for a half. In the first half. Point guard Javon Small is a really impressive player. He played 18 games at East Carolina, only played half the year because of a knee injury, but he was a top 50 recruit last year. He's averaging 16 points, 5.5 assists. He's also grabbing rebounds at 4 a game, and also a good three-point shooter at 38%. But really, that's about it. Their inside game took a big hit as they brought in a transfer in Isaiah Miranda, 7'1" center who was originally a top 60 recruit, enrolled at NC State in January, but then opted to transfer at semester and was going to try the NBA draft process, ends up coming to Oklahoma State. And for whatever reason, it sounds like personal reasons, he played 3 games, and we found out 2 days ago he's off the team.
Wow.
So a real interesting case there. But other than that, that's what really all stands out to me for Oklahoma State. Listen, this is what really hurts Oklahoma State, though. What hurts them is their nickname is the Cowboys. And when's the last time a Cowboys team has won anything?
Oh, boy. Yeah, now you're talking. This is the MitchPom I like.
I was like, catching strays, but you're the one that's catching it.
Yeah, that's. You think that's going to play into this? the performance that we saw last weekend, performance this weekend for the Oklahoma State Cowboys. They got a Dak. Do they have a CeeDee Lamb on that team? Gonna do nothing? Come on, man. I'm nervous to hear your prediction because you've been so on fire the last 4 times.
Well, and I'll give you just a couple more thoughts here on K-State before I get to my prediction, but I hear you because it's crazy accurate, isn't it? It's
so
almost scary accurate. And I went through the software update, so we're going to get back on track with the whole overtime. Is there going to be overtime? Is there no overtime? Messed up that one badly in the Baylor game. But, just 2 things I'm very curious about K-State. First of all, just don't turn it over. Take care of the basketball. Go rebound defensively. And don't let Oklahoma State have free possessions. But I'm curious about Tyler Perry because he's been in this pattern lately. And I made this reference earlier this week, but it's that DJ Khaled song, Up, Down, with T-Pain.
Yeah.
All I do is win. That's TP from 3-point range. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Against UCF, he was 6 of 11. West Virginia, 1 for 6. Texas Tech, 4 of 11. Baylor, 1 of 8.
Ooh.
Is this another hot game for Tyler Perry? If the pattern is true, this will be a big game. I just want him to keep shooting and find that confidence again and knock down some threes. Arthur Kaluma, don't pass up any shots. I'm looking forward to what Arthur Kaluma does. Last 2 games, it took him a while to get going, to be a good basketball player. He was rough for the first 15, and I'm talking about his minutes, like the first 15 minutes. But he was pretty key down the stretch, especially against Baylor with his rebounding.
Wow.
I do think Oklahoma State has some talent. I just don't think they have enough talent to get it done in Manhattan. MitchPom gives K-State a 79% chance of winning the game by the final score 70-61. I'm upping that, as you could probably guess already. I'm upping that to 86% chance the Cats get it done. Final score 75-60. Cats win by 15 over the Oklahoma State Cowboys inside of Bramlage Coliseum.
I love it, dude. I like that a lot. And I do think this is the game where the Cats take care of business and put them away. A UCF kind of game where it's just like we're going to dominate them from half to both halves.
We take a break. When we come back, the other half of the doubleheader in Bramlage tomorrow with the K-State women. A major change to the lineup for the Cats. It is a major storyline moving forward. We'll give you those details when we come back on the game. All right, Colby has let me know that they're still in the third in their JV game, so there's definitely a chance we're going the distance here today. So there'll be most likely a delayed pregame for the Manhattan girls taking on Blue Valley. Typically happens. So not a surprise. Hey, how about this? This just came across my desk. I have been handed 2 men's basketball tickets to tomorrow's game to give away.
What is your secret? How do you get a hold of these tickets all the time? I don't understand. Are you stealing them?
I've got people.
Ooh, okay.
It's actually Santa Claus. He just does late deliveries throughout the year.
Here you go.
Just right across the desk.
Here you go, buddy. It's just like, it's just so frequent here recently. I like it. I think it's cool, and I think the listeners love it. But it's like, hey, man.
Truthfully, I think I might quit and start applying, give myself some free tickets to the games.
Well, here's what we'll do. I'm going to give these tickets away at the end of this segment.
Yes.
I'll ask for a caller, so get ready to call in. We'll do that here in a few minutes. Again, that's tickets for the K-State men's basketball game at 6 o'clock tomorrow against Oklahoma State. So get ready. That'll be happening here in just a little bit. So stay tuned. Get your phones ready. Get 537-1350 ready on your phone, ready to hit send. You never know when I'm going to ask for that caller and what number.
Ooh.
Learned earlier today, and I feel so bad for Ayoke Lee. Ankle injury, and I saw her in a boot on Monday. Played through it against Texas. This is an injury that took place in the Oklahoma game, so that was the Wednesday prior to the Texas game. And Ayoke going to be out roughly 4 weeks due to this ankle injury that required surgery. That happened earlier today. and now recovery is on. First of all, I think with an injury like that, I think we're rather fortunate that she's only going to be out 4 weeks. The real bummer is obviously that K-State's momentum is really strong right now. Mm-hmm. It's not just what the play on the court has turned into is now K-State fans are talking about women's college basketball at K-State more than they have in probably 20 years. Mm-hmm. It took a long time to get to this spot, be the 7th-ranked team in the nation, highest ranking in 20 years. And what comes with that is higher expectations. I called K-State a Final Four team earlier this week, and I still definitely think they are. But what else do you start thinking about is like seeding in the Big 12 tournament, a run for the Big 12 regular season championship. And by the way, if you happen to be a top 16 seed in the NCAA tournament, which is 1 through 4 of the seeds, you get to host a first and second round. Now, back in the day, I think this was about 6-7 years ago, K-State was not a top 16 seed, a 1 through 4 seed, but because that particular weekend, Stanford was hosting a gymnastics event that Stanford couldn't host. So Manhattan, because of attendance, got that opportunity to host as a 7 seed. They did lose to Stanford and to Tara Vanderveer in the second round, but that was an awesome experience.
That's cool.
The experience of learning how uptight the NCAA is about what you drink out of at the scorer's table.
Wow, they were telling you, nuh-uh.
Oh, you couldn't have a bottle. You had to drink out of a specific-looking NCAA cup that had like Powerade on the side, even though they had bottles of Powerade. You had to drink it out of the NCAA cup because it had the NCAA logo on it. And also, I mean, as media, I went to the NCAA tournament last year for the men in both North Carolina and New York City, and it was the same deal.
Yeah.
If you're going out to the court to work or whatever, you have to have the cup.
Whoa.
Dressed up in a suit to be a PA announcer was very interesting. And I'm not a big suit guy. I'm not a big dress-up guy, but, it was a special occasion. Why not?
Do what you got to do for the gig, dude.
I don't want to freak out about it. And I have flashbacks of last year, how the team they struggled without Ayoke. Let's be real. Without that inside presence and not having a true 5 to play the center, be a 5 forward, and it was a rough year. K-State didn't win a game on the road, and now they're 17-1. I mean, with Ayoke back and such talent, but that's something to keep in mind and not to freak out about this. And when I heard about this news, I was really trying not to freak out. I was like, when it was just getting good, it was just taking off, and everybody was talking about women's basketball. I'd been hoping for this day for so long. And then your top player gets hurt, and she's maybe missing 7 or 8 games with 12 left in Big 12 play. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the season.
Sure.
And what K-State has this year that they really didn't have last year is depth. And they have that downstairs with Gisela Sanchez and Amani last year and Eliza Maupin, who are now going to get more minutes. And now this is a time to prove themselves. I hope this makes K-State a better team, but they're going to have to. They have no choice but to fight without Ayoke Lee for 4 weeks, roughly. So. I still hope everybody shows up for the game tomorrow against KU. I still hope that fans go buy tickets and still want to go see Serena Sundell, the Glenn twins, Gabby Gregory, the Gap Goat. Bring the baby goats out, the baby gaps.
Yeah,
to the game.
Bring a real goat to the game.
Owen,
do you know if I can donate an ankle to Ayoke and get her back out there? I just hate that all these athletes deal with injuries from time to time. I'm 25 years old. I sit behind the desk for half my life. I've never broken or fractured a bone in my entire life. I'm like, I want to see all these people succeed. I want to see K-State make that run, and I just hate that I'm sitting here fully healthy and she's suffering that ankle injury.
I've only had other than a sprained ankle, any sort of serious lower body injury was a sprained meniscus when I was a junior. And I had to sit out last 4 weeks of JV, which sucked. But I've had weird injuries. I've broken 4 fingers.
Whoa.
Really?
And it's all sports-related stuff. And I've also broken both hands.
Damn.
Wow.
like a bone in both hands, not
Yeah.
including the fingers.
Yeah, I think I had nerve damage in my shoulder from a game in my sophomore year, but other than that, like no. And I did crack my skull open one time as a kid, but that's not a non-sports related injury. But yeah, God, donate an ankle out there. Get Yoki back out there.
Listen, just call up Ascension via Christie and say, hey, I'm just throwing it out there. How do you donate an ankle?
Yeah, I don't know if the frame would work. She's definitely a lot taller than I am,
Well,
but
it's a start.
I'll give both of them up if I have to do it, right?
It's a start. We're just throwing it out there. Ascension via Christie. If there's anybody that works there, maybe could get Owen on the horn with somebody that knows. Okay, that's all we're saying.
Unfortunately, I can't give an ankle.
Oh, yours are
First of
busted.
all, I am short enough.
Sure.
I can't lose. I can't afford to lose anymore.
Yeah.
And when I say anymore, like I never really had it to begin with.
Sure.
So I don't want to have an opportunity to lose anything. I need to use what I have.
I will also donate mine.
I was like, I'm a team player. I'll do it. I don't care.
I'll do it.
I can give away though 2 tickets.
Great segue.
Let's do it right now. Owen, what number? Give me a number.
I'm going to go with my lucky number 4.
4 is a good number. Call number 4, 785-537-1350. I'm going to give you 2 tickets to the K-State men's basketball game against Oklahoma State. You got to be ready to pick them up tomorrow at Will Call, southwest corner of Bramlage Coliseum. But if you want 2 tickets to the K-State men against Oklahoma State, give me a call right now. 785-537-1350. Caller number 4 is our winner. And when we come back, blindly rank 5 after these words. Congratulations to Jason from Manhattan, as he told me on the phone that he's been trying for weeks to win tickets.
Oh, man.
And then he just flies in at the last second, becomes our main event winner.
Dude, all you got to do is grease the wheels a little bit. Here's some cash. Can I win the tickets?
Yeah.
Here's a burger or something. Like
Something,
win the
man.
tickets. Hey, come on, Jason. Come on, man.
All right, so congratulations again to Jason, and we're completely out of tickets for this weekend. Completely out.
So
no
don't
more
ask.
Gonzo.
Yeah. Do people hit you up a lot?
Yes.
People hit you up a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. Especially like, hey, man, can I get 2 tickets to the KU game? And you're like, oh yeah.
You know what?
I'm going to give you 2 tickets.
Maybe I shouldn't even say that. I have not been asked for a single KU ticket to the game yet.
Can I have a KU ticket?
Yeah, make it 2. And record broken.
Owen, have you ever been to a K-State KU game?
I actually have not had the pleasure yet. I've had a couple buddies that are KU fans that have made it out to Lawrence, but I don't think any of them have actually came to the Octagon to witness that game yet either. So it's on the bucket list for sure.
Deej,
but only
you've been to probably 1 or 2.
I have been to 1 or 2.
only if the Roots playing at halftime. It's the only reason.
I mean, either that or we could just push a button.
I'll push the button. I'm pretty good at pushing that button.
And when I say we, I mean me, because it's obviously me who makes the decision
You go-
if Sandstorm gets played or not.
You look around and you're like,
It's time. It's time.
clunk.
You want to play a game of blindly rank 5?
I am down. May I have a pin from the pin of the K-Man pin situation?
So the way blindly rank 5 works is I'm going to give Deej a theme, and then at one at a time, he's going to rank 5 things.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know what's coming next, so it's an anticipation while he ranks these 5 things. Your theme this week is negative hand gestures.
Oh.
Boy, there was a coach earlier this week none too happy with UCF about a particular hand gesture. They said, quit doing that blank. Show some class. It's classless. So I'm like, you know what? There's more negative hand gestures than just that particular one.
Absolutely. And it comes on the heels of you getting your butts whipped. I mean, it's bad luck, dude.
I'm gonna butt in for a second. I know we're not doing Jabroni of the Week. This would be up there for me. If
Rodney Terry?
Yeah, if we're upset about this, they're gonna get eaten alive in the SEC. If you think that's bad, I mean, it's gonna get a whole lot worse. Maybe not in basketball, but those football fans are gonna eat them up.
Well, it's like a smoker on a plane. Like, you can't wait to get out of the airport so you can catch a heater. And it's like those players, like especially when you're in Austin and you beat the Texas, and it's a rule, of course, you can't do the horns down during the game, but once that game goes final, let it rip.
Yeah, are you kidding me?
You have made yourself the Dallas Cowboys of college athletics. There's nothing, and I've never heard a Cowboys fan get upset about people coming after him like that. It is what it is. If we're going to have Texas's back after every 8-win football season, you're going to deal with some horns down every once in a while. It is what it is.
Ooh, I like it.
All right, so negative hand gestures, top 5. Again, you rank them how you want it. If you think, oh, they're nasty hand gestures, you hate them. Well, 1 to 10 or 1 to 5, hate them. Or if you really like them or whatever, however you want to do this.
Okay.
Your first negative hand gesture is a thumbs down. Boo.
Dude, I was so
real hurtful stuff.
So I'm going to rank mine the hand gestures that have the most impact.
Okay.
And when you do a thumbs down, okay, so I've tried to do this when I'm driving. Instead of
Yes.
letting it rip with the bird, I do a thumbs down, and I've gotten a lot of apologies. I think that it's an underrated impact on your heart. I think a thumbs down is number 2, dude. I'm putting thumbs down as a number 2 kind of situation.
I love a good, you're showing the thumbs up and then you bring it around and then really spike the thumb.
Oof. And the double thumbs down
when
is
you-
just brutal.
Man, when you're double barreling the thumbs, my God.
Ooh, you're not happy. That guy is not happy, man. Oof.
All right, your second negative hand gesture is a shaking fist.
Oh. Ooh, I don't know if I've
Why,
ever had,
yada.
I don't know if I've ever had the pleasure of shaking my fist at somebody, but that's rough, dude. Okay. I think the impact of shaking your fist at somebody that's very impactful, but I'm going to keep it at a 5. I think that's reserved for older gentlemen.
Yeah, it's not what it used to be.
Shaking a
It's-
fist at the cloud.
That's a get off my lawn kind of.
Abe Simpson, man gets mad at cloud, yes.
All right, so you have thumbs down at 2, the shaking fist at 5. We're ranking 5 negative hand gestures.
Oof.
Your third is the bird,
Oh, yeah.
the
man.
middle finger.
The classic middle finger.
I didn't know what it was until Stone Cold Steve Austin came into my life.
And you're like, what's that? And you're
And then I'm giving everybody the bird.
That's the greatest thing of all time all of a sudden.
Man,
There is something about being a young man, like a young kid, and finding out about the bird and just letting them rip. And that first time that an adult catches you and you're like, you feel like you're going to go to jail or something.
first time I got the belt.
Oof.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
They were like, you're not going to do that. And you're like, unfortunately, I'm never going to.
Did you do it to your parents or like just saw
No,
you do
never
it
to my parents,
Okay.
but my sister, for
Ooh,
sure. I
you-
would do it in school.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mitch.
You don't have the same issue. You took that stuff to school. That's where you get in trouble.
Oh, man.
I mimicked Stone Cold so much as a kid, and whenever I heard something, my sister was the first victim.
Oh, boy. Oh, the first victim. It's one. You know it. One. Flip off. It's not flick, by the way. Flicking someone off. I want to flick you off in the head.
So one last question. Are you a thumbs out with it or a thumbs in kind of guy?
Okay, so
Kid Rock did the thumbs out thing on that album.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah.
yeah. I am someone that it changes for me. It's a lot like my batting stance in baseball. Just kind of how I felt like going up at the plate. So sometimes it's like in. Sometimes I got the double.
That's the
like,
signature right
You know,
there.
like the
Thumbs out.
fingers. Sometimes it's good to just hold all the fingers and let your middle finger like just out there. Like that's like yeah.
All right, so you have middle finger at 1, thumbs down at 2, the shaking fist at 5. We have 2 left. Number 4 is the L sign, loser.
Ooh,
loser.
L7 weenie. Oh boy. Oh, the loser sign. That's. Oh man, you L loser. That's so 50s. That's a 4. I wish I could put it at 5 though. Because that's a 50s thing.
Man, there was that time in the 2000s where calling somebody a loser and using the L to the forehead,
Yeah.
you would try to no-sell it, but if it was like a pretty girl that maybe you kind of liked, and then she just kind of buries you like that, it hit a little bit.
It's worse than the bird in that case. I like it just out and about. One of my favorite pictures of my buddies, he's calling a basketball game. I don't even remember the story behind it, but he's at an announcer's table. He's got his headset on. He just does the smirk, and he's like, it's our favorite. It's like one of my favorite meme reactions to send.
Gotcha.
Yep. He's a Cowboys fan. I sent it to him last weekend.
I am just, when somebody does that, I think, hey, you want to do that? I'll flip you off.
We're going to raise the stakes.
I raise the stakes on you. I do that, the flip off or the arm thing. The like arm inside the crook of the arm. Yeah, whatever.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Up your, like, oh yeah, I'll do that.
But there's arms involved, so I didn't include that.
Oh yes, hand gestures.
Just hand gestures only. Final one, you had 3 open, middle finger 1, thumbs down 2, the L for loser at 4, and then the shaking fist at 5. Number 3 is the goodie, maybe my favorite one of all time, because I have friends that like Texas. Horns down.
Oh yeah, perfect spot for that.
That's a good one. Yeah,
that's a good spot for that. It just feels so right, doesn't it? It works so good. There's that picture of Braylon Edwards. You remember that wide receiver he played at Michigan and they beat Texas a number of years ago, and he like ran up to the student section and like he did it the way he did the double horns down right in front of him. It was perfect, picture perfect, in fact. It just feels so good to get that horns down, and especially a double horns down. Oh, boy.
Well, we just got the update from old Colby out in Stillwell, Kansas, that pregame starting here very soon. So we need to wrap up the show.
Oh, God.
So let's go ahead. We'll jump to our last break, but we're going to wrap up the show right now. As Manhattan High girls basketball coming up next. Colby Van Camp on the call from Stillwell. Tigers, Lady Indians is coming up next after this timeout. Thank you for listening to the game for Owen, Deej, Mitch. Go Cats.